Grotto is a first-person adventure developed by the Brainwash gang, the people who brought us the wonderful yet downright bizarre roguelite Non-Guns, and also one of my favourite indies of 2021, the pixel art musical adventure The Longest Road on Earth. Now, like those two games, Grotto is quirky and offers a unique experience. It's the sort of game that's hard to fully understand from just watching trailers. You really need to play it to fully appreciate it. Everything takes place in a small cave, a grotto, and controlling your character involves moving back and forth between two main areas. As a soothsayer, you're able to read the stars, and one of the key mechanics of the game involves looking up to a hole in the cave roof and drawing lines between stars to discover constellations. Once discovered, these symbols become etched into the wall of the grotto for future use. All of the constellations represent different things and become central to the path the narrative takes. And so, what we really have here is an interesting take on the old choose-your-own-adventure story. Not far from the star spotting site is a campfire which different characters frequent. Each of these comes to you for help or answers, and you decide the fate by selecting one of the constellations you discovered. It struck me quite early on just how many different narratives are possible here, and what's most impressive is that whatever constellations you choose, the story develops organically and doesn't feel disjointed. Despite being a short game, with a run taking only a couple of hours, there's huge replay value here. A second playthrough will, undoubtedly, deal you a totally different story. There's a whole host of memorable characters to meet, all with strange verbose names to describe the personality. There's the good for nothing, the one I love, the great chief, and many more. The choices you make have huge ramifications. Selecting a specific constellation may lead to a character getting punished or even put to death. Characters allegorically represent real-life issues and touch on topics such as marriage, sexual freedom, repression, democracy, and capitalism. The script is well written and believable, with characters speaking a primitive form of English. The art style's striking, with the bright colours contrasting with the dark interior of the cave, and the occasional audio narration really does help develop the story. Grotto may not be a game for everyone. It is pretty slow paced, and the gameplay loop may become tiresome for some. You talk to a character, pick a constellation, return to them with it, and then you leave, sleep in your tent, and then you repeat the cycle again. Despite using a first person perspective, it's really hard to call this even a walking sim, as there's very little walking, or even movement. There's a fast travel button that allows you to switch between the constellation wall and the characters at the campfire, which further reduces the need to move around. Yet, this is a story-driven game, and the story really is top-notch, with some quite profound and emotional moments. Expect a few shocks here and there, depending on the choices you make. Every time I satisfied a character's request, I wanted to see who would visit next, and what they'd want. And even after exiting the game, I was still thinking of the characters. Read the stars and decide the fate of an entire tribe now in Grotto, available on the PC, the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and also the Xbox One. If you've enjoyed this video review, please subscribe to I Love Indies and hit that like button. You can also follow me on Twitter for curated indies of the day and some super giveaways. My Twitter handle is @IndiesLove. I'll be back very soon with more indie gaming goodness. Until the next video, keep loving indies.
Once, shortly after people existed at all, the stars talked to a lyre, and the lyre talked to people, and the people changed. Once, a fisher, a tree dweller, and a loner endowed came to the lyre, and the stars said, "Hello." The fisher thought of the sea. The tree dweller thought of the sky, and the loner became sad. Once, drawing the lines of fate, the lyre strived to understand people. They tried, and they failed, and they tried again. Because this is a story of failure. But this is also a story of hope.